Hey, my name is Dan, and this is my channel. I love making everyday technology easy. I worked at Apple for 19 years, and now I am in full-time ministry. Today, I have a little bit of a different video. I want to share with you my top 5 everyday carry or EDC apps that I use on my device. Now, these applications are all going to be free. However, almost all of them always have some type of premium tier that will unlock even more features, but you can get a lot done just with the free versions. Now, these applications I think that are visually appealing, they're very useful, and they've provided pretty cool tips or abilities, utility, I should say, that have made my life a little bit easier. That's why I have been carrying them on my device for quite a while. So now I want to share them with you. So without further ado, let's dive right in. I'm going to launch my camera here. And the first one that I want to share with you is one called Shareshot. I don't know if you take a lot of screenshots. I know I do. I take screenshots for everything, for YouTube content here, but sometimes I'm taking a picture of an email or a receipt or something of that nature. But if you find yourself taking a lot of screenshots and you just want to make them look a little bit nicer, you need to download this application. By the way, I will make a list in the descriptions with links directly to all of these apps if you want to check them out yourself through your favorite app store. Again, they're all available for free with a premium upgrade, I'm sure. So the first one here is uh, Shareshot. And here's an example. Once I've taken a screenshot, it will always bring up your screenshot, your last screenshot taken. And what I like about this is that number one, it allows you to change the background of it. It allows you to change the size of it. So if you want to make, maybe you're taking a screenshot and you're posting it on social media for business purposes or whatnot, you can change the shape of it to landscape, square, custom, or to fit, or you can definitely make a custom size. You can also change the background colors. You can do quite a bit. You can tap on edit below. You can pick any background you want. There is some free or premium tier options here. But again, just a nice way to level up your screenshots. One of my favorite applications. I know you're going to love it. The next one that I want to share with you is one called Pretty Progress. Now, this one is very cool, especially if you are tracking down to something, meaning you have a vacation that's planned and you're counting down the days, or you're creating a new habit like maybe working out, or maybe you're drinking more water, or maybe you have a YouTube channel and you're trying to get to that next tier of subscribers, which by the way, thank you guys so much for subbing to the channel. I think we're over 8,000 subscriptions, which is mind blowing for me, especially starting this channel just a few months ago. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. But many of you are watching and you're not subscribed. If you like what you see, just click on that button. It helps me out so much. So progress, or Pretty Progress, is the second icon I have right next to Shareshot there on your screen. And what I like about this is that it allows you to create different countdowns or trackers to it. Has a lot of different categories. Again, it has a premium tier that you can unlock to, but I find that you may not need it. And here I just set up two demo ones. I've set up one for vacation and one for working out. So again, very simple. You set the parameters, but what I like about it is that it allows widgets. So up here, I have on my stackable widgets, I have two of those trackers. So visually, it's appealing. With just a glance, I can see where I'm at. And if you've noticed, you'll see that I've added a plus symbol. You can actually add a action item to this widget, and you customize what the action item is. Maybe you want every time you tap that plus to increase by a number or decrease by a number or reset, etc. So here I have one called vacation. I don't know why I called it vacation because I think I changed it to how many subscribers I have. So I'm hoping that through this video, I can tap on this quite a bit more. But as you can see there, it says I have 8,300 out of my next goal of 10,000. So if I tap on that plus, it's going to increase my subscribers by 100 because that's the metric that I added. So if I tap on plus, you'll see there that it added 100 more. And then on the workout, the one up above, I have a goal for 7 days. After 7 days, it'll reset. And what I've set up that plus icon to do is to add one extra day. So let's say I worked out, which I worked out this morning. I can go ahead and tap on that plus right from the widget, and it added a day. Again, you can go crazy with this, and there are many other trackers, countdown, timers, things of that nature. But I just found this one to be kind of visually appealing and very easy to modify. So pretty progress, really, really cool. So the next application that I want to share is one of my favorite ones. It's called OneTap. Now, before I show you what the application does, let me just highlight this. I may do a video on keyboard shortcuts, which is found natively within iOS. And what keyboard shortcuts is, it's if you find yourself typing something over and over and over, whether it's a password or maybe just some type of identifier like your frequent travel number, something of that nature, you can go into keyboard shortcuts. You can create that phrase, right? That password, that set of numbers, whatever that is. And then you can create a very short identifier to trigger that. So, for example, when I would travel a lot, my keyboard shortcut was AA, and that would automatically populate my American Airlines frequent flyer number, right? Just kind of makes life a little bit easier. What I like about OneTap is that this is a free application. There is a paid version of it, which I believe it's $10 for the entire year. It gives you more shortcuts that you can add, or more, yeah, more shortcuts, more scripting that you can add. But what I like about it is it gives you a couple of options here where you can try a few out, see if you like it. So I went ahead and I added one from my YouTube, and if I tap there, basically this is a shortcut that would automatically add my URL for my YouTube page. Now, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna create a new shortcut just to show you. So I'm gonna go ahead and pretend that this is my, let's do the American Airlines travel. So I'm gonna call it American Airlines, and it's gonna be a shortcut. It could be a text, it could be a photo, it can be our URL, it could be a document, maybe if it's something that you're constantly pasting. And I'm just gonna go ahead and make up a fictitious number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's pretend that's my frequent flyer number. And I'm gonna go ahead and hit tap on add. Now, when you do this for the very first time, it's gonna ask you to give it permission to your keyboard. And that's okay to do, because what I love about this is that no matter where you're at, as long as you have a keyboard, if you notice on my keyboard here within my notes application, I have all the way in the very bottom left-hand side, I have a little globe icon. If I tap and hold there, it exposes all the different keyboards that I have. I have my emoji keyboard. I have an English Spanish keyboard. I have an English Portuguese keyboard. And then I have the one tap keyboard. So if I select the one tap keyboard, there are my two shortcuts. So I can quickly, with one tap, go ahead and add that American Airlines code. I can also, if I needed to, I can go ahead and quickly add my, let's say, my YouTube URL information to anywhere that I'm at. So again, anywhere that I have the keyboard access, I'm going to have the one tap shortcuts available to me. Again, you get a couple of free shortcuts that you can create. You can unlock it by paying for the annual subscription if you're into that, but definitely download it, check it out, and try it out. Now, the next one is one called AnyList. And now I do want to kind of pause here for 1 minute, because I've made a video on using Apple Notes specifically for grocery lists, and I showed us how to create even a reusable template that you can use within Apple Notes. Now, that's still one of my favorite ways to create regular lists. This application, however, called AnyList, it's actually very appealing for a couple of different reasons, and we're trying this out here in the family between my wife and I. And so far, we like it. There are definite pluses that make this unique to itself. Again, free version, and there's always going to be a paid version. Now, what I like about this is that you can create a any type of list like you would grocery list, packing list, gift ideas, movie to watch, house projects, etc. You can also create recipes that you can actually go in by and setting up your recipes. It has meal planning calendar. So this is kind of where it starts to get a little bit different from just a regular Apple's notes, especially if you are meal prepping for the week. You can now create a recipe, you can add a meal plan, and then if you couple that with your grocery list, you start to see the continuity within the application. However, what I really like about this application It's very simple to use. Here's a regular backyard barbecue grocery list. You can very easily just swipe across the item once you've gotten it. It does offer syncing through iCloud, so you can share this note with a family member, a spouse, or relative, so that if in case both of you are shopping simultaneously, you know who's gotten what. And then what I like about this at the bottom, you can see where it says order, pickup, or delivery. This application does integrate with Walmart, with Instacart, and a few others. So if you have one of those services already, you can kind of create your list, maybe at your lunch break or as life goes on during the week. And then once you're ready to place that order through Instacart or Walmart, you can start adding those items. It's not a full one click and everything gets swapped over. There is a little bit of a few taps involved, but still, I think it's a pretty cool integration nonetheless. So definitely worth checking out any list. Now, this last application, believe it or not, I kind of thought it was not going to be so useful, and it's turned out to be very useful. It's called Cheat Sheet, just in time for back to school. Just kidding. But hey, so what Cheat Sheet does, it allows you to create um, eh, that every day-to-day data that you need. Now, this should not be like your ATM passcode, right? Or your passcode to your vault where you have millions of dollars, right? And if you do have, that, you shouldn't be putting this on a cheat sheet. But this is for those common everyday questions that you might get at work, at school, at home. Maybe it's your Wi-Fi password, or maybe like your guest Wi-Fi password, or maybe it's like your locker code or the bathroom code to the guest, things of that nature, things that you kind of need quick that are not high level security. And here you basically go ahead and create a cheat sheet. So here's the interface, pretty simple. I can go ahead and add anything I want. I can add an icon if I want something kind of to visually remind me. Like let's say I want to um, let's say I want to select that little fork and knife because I want to remind myself that the discount code to the office cafe downstairs, right, or in the building, the discount code is cafe. And I can just quickly add that, right? Cafe, and it's 2025. Now, I have this set of cheat sheets, but what I love about it is the fact that it has a widget available. So I'm going to go ahead and swipe down, and you're going to see that there immediately my new created cheat sheet of my Cafe 2025 instantly came up. So at a quick glance, if I'm in the office and somebody's constantly asking me, hey, what's the Wi-Fi password? I can just quickly swipe up and say, hey, the Wi-Fi password is Cafe con Dan. You guessed it. Hey, make sure you subscribe. No, I'm just kidding. But or hey, what's a locker passcode? Hey, it's 10 101900, or where did you park? I parked in garage 12 or space G12, things of that nature. Again, simple application, but it's so useful. You can create whatever you want with it. I just think it's wonderful. And then here's one bonus one. I know that we are living in the AI world nowadays, and ChatGPT is obviously very popular and very useful to a certain degree. Many people don't know that there is a native free application of ChatGPT for your iPhone. You can download that application. Plus, it has a nice widget that you see right there on my stackable widgets, where I can simply tap up above and type like I normally would. I could tap the camera and instantly open my camera to take a picture of something that I want to inquire the chat GPT about, or I can use the voice assistant through chat GPT. Anyhow, these are my everyday applications that I've been carrying around my device, and I find them so cool that I said, you know what? I'm gonna pause, and I'm gonna make a video just for you. But do you have a favorite application that you just absolutely need me to check out? I need you to drop it down in the chat below because I love technology and I want to learn even more. In the description, I'm going to drop a link to all these applications, plus more. Listen, if you've not subscribed and you've made it this long and you found value, please subscribe, follow the community, because the bigger we get, the more data and the more information we can share with each others, and we can literally make everyday technology easy. Until next time, my friends, I hope you liked it. If you did, you learned something, give it a thumbs up. Catch you on the next one. Peace.